Welcome to stomach vacuum or Nauli Kriya tutorial. I've got a lot of requests from my followers on Instagram for me to get me to do this tutorial for you guys. So here I am. You would not need anything, maybe a little pillow or a cushion to just place it right underneath your tailbone to get your spine up nice and tall. I'm gonna tell you the truth that it's something that it's not gonna take only a day or a week or even months, but it's gonna take years of practice. We're not having to rush it too much, you know. It's not the vacuum, stomach vacuum here is not like these muscles that you can just suddenly activate it by flexing your bicep, flexing your triceps. I mean, it doesn't work that way. This is quite a deep internal muscles that you have to take, you know, practice to start to connect with it. And once you connect with it, then you can start it to move them in the way that you want to. For those who have heart disease, hypertension, hernia, constipation, or period, you might want to avoid this. And then I've got a lot of questions asking about and how often would you do this and how long of the practice in each day. That depends on, you know, every single one of you. If you are started like a beginners, if you started to do this practice and you start to feel a lot of nauseous or you know, dizziness, it's actually quite normal. But I would say that if it's, you know, too much, then you have to be aware to know that, and you just have to pause, take a break, or, you know, maybe even just skip it and do it other day. I'm gonna break down into these tutorials. The stomach vacuum is called the Uddiyana bandhas. So some of you here that if you are not familiar with Uddiyana bandhas or even bandhas, so the bandhas technically means the root locks. So in yoga we have 3 root locks. So the first root locks, it's right at the pelvic floor. So for men and women it would be slightly different, but I'm not going through the first bandha, which is called Mula bandha. I'm not going to go through that detail much, but the thing that we're going to be talking about is, which is what we're going to be using a lot in the stomach vacuum practice, is the Uddiyana bandhas, the second root lock, which is at the belly. So basically, to be specific, it's the lower belly right here underneath the belly button. And the third one, which is right here, is at the throat lock. I'm not going to go into the detail on that one as well. The one that we have to focus is the second root lock, the bandha, the Uddiyana bandha. Uddiya literally means flying. So it's the feeling, the kind of lift, the kind of contractions that get you feel light, like you have a pair of wings. We use this in handstands or the inversions to make us feel stable. So it's like a compact of the organs, the muscles, you know, everything in the core, torso area. When we start this practice, make sure that you sit in a nice, comfortable seated positions. There are steps. First step is to activate these abdominal or the rectus abdominis, the ab muscles. Heat it up. The second step is, this is just an optional, but I find it very helpful. It's another breathing exercise called Bhastrika. I'll explain that later. And then the next step is to do the stomach vacuum, which is the, you know, the pulling the whole thing up and pause. Then the next one would be the stomach vacuum with the pushing back in and out, in and out, in and out. The next step would be move it towards to the left and then move it towards to the right. Final step is to kind of move it into circle, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. Try to understand this is you're not going to get all these steps in one day, so you're going to start to practice from the step 1. And if you cannot manage to do the step 1 yet, so I recommend that you stick with the step 1 and keep doing it until you're getting better, and then you can move on to the next step. So the next step, you can always come back to this video, pause it, redo it over and over and over. All right, so when you're ready, we will start with Kapalabhati, the breath of fire. We use this to warm up. Kapalabhati, it literally means the shining skull. So it actually helps you to build up the heat in the stomach, help your body to decrease CO2, carbon dioxide. So that when you do this, or if you are familiar with this, we're gonna do it together. But if you are just a beginner to start to do this, you might feel a little, dizziness at the beginning. But that is completely normal. It's just the way of the body to adapt of the amount of oxygen in the body, because we just overbreathe and we're just not getting used to breathing this way. So whenever you feel dizziness, just pause slowly, take a deep breath, come back. If you feel like it's way too much for the day, pause it. Let's do it tomorrow instead. We will just focus on the exhalation. So the exhale would come rapidly with the active kind of. So the feeling is like you're kind of blowing out your nose, and you're gonna let the inhale become passive, where you're not focused on the inhale. And every time you do the exhale, pull the belly, especially the lower belly, pull the belly in and upwards. So not just in, but in and up, in and up, in and up. At the beginning, you can start slow, try to get the alignments right. Over time, you will start to build these speed on your own when you started to get used to it. So I'm gonna demo with this Kapalabhati to you first. So try to sit up nice and tall. Try not to arch the back, and try to lock the chest. Try not to move the chest upward, back and forth. All right. This is not dancing, by the way. Okay, so okay, take a deep breath, and on the exhale. Okay, now let's do it together. At the beginning, I would suggest you do 15 to 20, but again, over time, you can do 50, you can do 100. For myself, before I start, I like to do 200, 100 or 200 or 300 sometimes, and then until I start to feel the tension in my whole stomach. Then I pause and I rest. Okay, so don't be hard on yourself. Okay, this is basically not an overnight thing, not a one-day thing. It is a long time of a practice. All right, so let's try Kapalabhati together. So sit up nice and tall. Before we start, take a deep full breath in through the nose. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. Okay, and then inhale, and let's begin. Deep breath, relax. If you do this, if you watch this video over and over, maybe pause the video, do more or do less. All right, so that is Kapalabhati. And then the next one that I use to warm up is Bhastrika. So this one, it's almost the same but slightly different. So you're going to exhale through the stomach just like we did with the previous one where we go. But then on the inhale, inhale through the chest with active power. So it looks like this. So you both inhale and exhale. Active and active. Try this slow. When you catch the rhythm, then the speed will come later. Don't focus on the speed. All right, let's try. Inhale. Exhale, relax. And let's do this. And over time, take a deep breath. Exhale. Okay, you feel dizziness? Pause. Rest. I'm going to move on to the next one, next step. And the next one would be the actual stomach vacuum itself. From this whole step till the end, it's gonna be on the feet. The reason is because when you sit on this cross leg like this, it's actually make it harder. So the easiest way to enter the stomach vacuum is actually standing. And another one that you can do is actually a cat pose, which is basically with the hands and knees down. And once your body are in these positions with the knee bent, your belly will start to pull up and hollow itself on its own automatically. So in this pose, the Uddiyana Bandha would be a little slightly sucked. So you can try with this one from the next, step, or come up on the stand. But I encourage you to do in the standing position first. Let's start on the feet. Okay, so we will start with the standing position. So I like you to stand with the feet with the hip distance. Bend the knee a little bit and place your hands like this on your thighs. If you need to bring it a little wider, or you turn your knees and your toes a bit, outside, that's fine too. So from the side, it would look like this. And then you can actually move the hips so that you want the feet to be very solid and stable. Imagine that the stomach vacuum, it's like you want to take a picture on Facebook or Instagram, and you just want to suck the belly and try to make your body as small or slim as much as you can. So the feeling would be like lift. We will not be able to breathe. So how you enter the stomach vacuum is actually you have to exhale, let the air comes out from your lungs, from your stomach as much as you can. And then you're gonna imagine that you want to breathe in, inhale through the nose, but then you kind of not breathing. So it's gonna be like you are exhaling, and at the end you hold the breath, kind of close this root lock, close your throat, and it's like someone strangle your neck, and then you want to breathe. It's the feeling that if you're swimming or you're underneath the water and you just want to breathe up on the surface, and you just go but you don't breathe. You just and let that force the pull to pull the belly in and upwards. Okay, so I'm going to show you with the standing. You're going to sit this way. I'm going to show you from the side. So you're going to take a deep breath. And on the exhale, you're going to exhale through the mouth. Hands. And then rest. On the way that you are gonna come back and breathe again, you're gonna let the belly fall out first and then start to breathe. Okay, so it like this, and then you let the belly out and then start to breathe in again. Okay, so let's try it again. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. And then breathe. Now, the next one will be that stomach vacuum, but you're pushing the belly back and forth. Still, you would not be able to breathe. So the whole Nauli thing with stomach vacuum, you're not breathing in any of these except for the first warm up. Those are the one that you're actually breathing. So you're gonna hold the breath for as long as you can. This one I'm gonna show you. It's very hard to explain how do we do it, but the more you started to connect with these muscles, the more you're doing these whole step one. These are all the exercises that get you to connect with your body. On this one, you're gonna inhale, and on the exhale, you're gonna let everything out just like the one before. If I have to describe it, it would feel like when you're having big dinner and you just cannot have that skirt or jeans or whatever anymore. You just kind of want to unbutton and then let the belly comes out, and then you're gonna pull it back in just like when you did. For the next step, move it into the left, move it into the right. And this one I can give you techniques. At the beginning, you're gonna use your hip to move a bit to the left and to the right. Once you become like an advanced, the hip will stay still, and it would be purely deep internal muscles control. So you're gonna stand it this way. So you're gonna thinking about kind of, moving the hip to the left, moving the hip to the right, like just not like dancing, but just a slightly of a moving. Imagine that you move everything towards to the left. So you're gonna take a deep breath. Exhale. And then breathe. Whew. At the beginning in this video, you might not fully understand, but over time, I promise this, it will get easier and easier. And then at the final one, Nauli Kriya, is to be able to move the belly into circles, left and right, left and right. I will show you first, and the more you practice, you will be able to hold the breath even longer and longer. Okay, so this one, take a deep breath. Whew. Okay, that was good. Okay, so that would be all about the steps. So hope you guys got some techniques to adapt or adjust, on your own body. And again, remember, don't be hard on yourself. So just take it easy. And you can come back and pause the video, do it over and over, step by step. Thank you guys so much for joining this tutorial. I hope you guys like it, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and leave the comments below if you need me to, or you like me to do any kind of other tutorial videos. Right, namaste. Thank you guys. Bye.